Hello there once again, and thank you for joining me on the Waters and Stanton video channel. Been doing a bit of work here. A bit of soldering, would you believe? And this is the subject of a video today, but not normal soldering. It's soldering for those that are visually impaired. Now, on this channel, we often cover problems with antennas, lack of space and so forth, but I thought it would be rather interesting to talk about the fact that maybe you can solder even when you're visually impaired. You know, as we get older, our eyesight deteriorates, and I'm no different from majority of people. In fact, I've had poor sight since the age of 18. I've been going to Moorfields Eye Hospital in London since then. That makes it 60 plus years I've been a patient at Moorfields Eye Hospital, and I've had a number of operations and transplants and so forth. So I know what it's like to be visually impaired. But as you get older, things get even worse. Now, if you're visually impaired, it's possible that you may be able to do what you thought you couldn't do. Let me describe something I've used recently to help me solder, because soldering is important in a hang radio station. Very often you need to put some plugs on a cable maker, an extension or something like that. Something that's relatively simple, something that you thought you could have done, or you could have done, in fact, many years ago. But even with a pair of glasses like this, even a powerful pair of glasses, is not strong enough for you to do any soldering. And of course, soldering does mean to say that you can make things that are dedicated to your station. So let me explain what I've done recently. It may well encourage you to give it a go and see whether you can do a bit of practical work on the bench that perhaps you thought you could no longer do. I've tried magnifiers and so forth. They work okay, but the problem is, or two problems. First of all, you can't really hold it and solder at the same time. You need a method of supporting it. But secondly, they tend to be focused. And because they're focused, they've got to be just at the right height above what you're trying to do. In other words, it's not really the answer. The answer really is your smartphone. If you've got a smartphone, most smartphones have got a magnifier application. They may be built in or you can download it. It doesn't cost anything really. The advantage of the magnifier on a smartphone is that first of all it sees incredibly well even in dim light, so you haven't got to worry too much about illumination. Secondly, it remains in focus over quite changeable distances. It's in focus there and it's in focus there, which is handy. And also it's got a zoom facility, so you can actually zoom in and adjust the amount of sort of circuit board or whatever you're trying to do that fills the screen on the iPhone and therefore gives you good clear vision. Well, I got this recently from Amazon, and basically it's an arm that it's quite stiff actually. It would have to be stiff to support the weight. You can actually put an iPhone on here, or you can put an iPad on here. I originally was going to use an iPad, and there's an adapter there to take an iPad. But I found that actually with the iPhone, it doesn't take up much space, and it does the job quite nicely. So what you do is you place your iPhone in the holder here, you pull this out so it grips it, like that, and then you just switch the magnifier application on the phone. You can then adjust this to whatever height you like, and whatever angle you like, and it enables you to work quite well on some fairly small objects. Let me show you. I'm hoping the camera will pick this up. I've got my iPhone switched to the magnifier, and I've focused on this small item here which I'm building, and as you can see I've got a very clear view of it on the iPhone here. And I can zoom in as well. I can, like that. So if I wanted to do some soldering, I haven't got the soldering iron on at the moment. If I want to do some soldering, I can actually see where the soldering iron is. Probably I'd need to come out a bit on that one, like that. And then I can see where the soldering iron is, and I can do the soldering. One thing I would recommend is that if you use this method, that you do consider wearing some surgical gloves, because there's always a risk of your hand slipping and perhaps touching the soldering iron somewhere. If you've got surgical gloves on, then I think that would protect you to some extent. But basically, what I tend to do is I tend to put a piece of blue tack on there. That means to say that the board is not going to slip around at all. I can be sure that's not going to slip around, and then usually it's pretty easy. But you can see that you can, you put a pair of pliers in there if you wanted to grab something, or perhaps cutters if you wanted to cut something. You can see how easy it is. And this control here, where you can zoom in and out, it's quite amazing. And look at the detail you can actually see on the phone here. So that's a method that I use to do soldering on jobs that I could never possibly hope to do otherwise. I mean, this small circuit board that I've been working on here, it really is tiny, and there's no way that I would be able to solder components on there. I'd make a complete mess of it. But with this method, it is possible. Now, I know that there's all sorts of different visual problems, so it may not be the answer for everybody, but I suspect that a lot of you could do more work in the workshop if you could see a bit better what you were doing. And this system seems to be ideal to me. It's better than the magnifying glass. This arm I got from Amazon, which I think was $22.95, which I think is not a bad price, really. A lot of you will have a smartphone. If you've got a smartphone, then of course you've got all that you need in order to build a system like this. And as I said before, because a smartphone is very good, even in subdued light, you get a good picture, a good, bright, crisp picture of it. And it certainly enabled me to do things that I wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And as I said at the outset, if you can do things like this that otherwise you couldn't do, then it saves you a bit of money as well, because if you want to make up a patch lead, you can make it the right length with the right plugs each end, and it's also pride in the fact that you've actually made it yourself. Okay, it's not a complex item, but so what? At least you did it yourself. And maybe if you wanted to do a little bit of soldering, perhaps make one or two basic items that aren't complicated, again, you might be able to do it. You won't be able to work at the pace that you used to work at. You'll work at a slower pace. You have to. But does that really matter? At least you get the job done. So I hope you found this video interesting. I've done this from my own personal perspective, but I'm sure that many of you out there have got similar problems. You may have some other ideas as to ways of overcoming soldering and working with small items. If you want to put the comments below this video in the comments column, then please do, and others will read it. But in the meantime, thank you for your support on this channel. It's much appreciated. Thank you for your support at the shop. Don't forget, we've got lots and lots of accessories at the shop. If you want to solder some plugs onto cable, we've got lots of cable and we've got lots of plugs, all sorts of plugs. So take a look. In the meantime, once again, thank you for the support on this channel and subscribing. Don't forget to press the subscribe button if you haven't done. In the meantime, you enjoy your ham radio. Look forward to seeing you, as usual, in the next video. Bye for now.